morning, good evening, or afternoon, football fans around the world. You know who I am by now. It's the GOUG for his NFL predictions. Went 9-7 in week 3. Not bad, not great. It's a winning week, gets me above 500. For the season, though, I am 32-16. Pretty damn good. Now, of course, before we get into week 4, let's go over week 3 and I will give you all the injury news and other news you need to know. First, Thursday night from last week. The Kansas City Chiefs defeated the Eagles 26-16. The Chiefs, I think, finally passed that eye test and Andy Reid got his great homecoming. Congratulations to him. Also, the Baltimore Ravens, the defending Super Bowl champions, defeated the Houston Texans 30-9. Texans were not able to pull the comeback for the third time in a row. Probably the biggest blowout of the weekend and probably the biggest shocker. The North Carolina Panthers destroyed the New York Giants 38-0. Wow, that's all I got to say. Giants are looking like a mess. Next, the Lions defeated the Redskins 27-20. Redskins, unfortunately, their defense cost them again. And RG3 having a late fumble near the end of the game cost them as well. The Titans beat the San Diego Chargers 20-17. The Chargers once again show why they're known as the San Diego Chokers. The New Orleans Saints defeat the Cardinals 31-7. The New England Patriots defeat the Buccaneers 23-20. Patriots may be coming right on back as they remain undefeated, but this has been their best win. The Packers lose a heartbreaker to the Cincinnati Bengals 34-30. Very rude fumble that cost them the game. My Dallas Cowboys defeated the Rams 31-7. Dallas Cowboys finally found a winning game. It took them long enough. Another upset from this past week was the Cleveland Browns defeating the Minnesota Vikings 31-27. Vikings, you know you suck when you lose to Cleveland. That's what that's got to be said. The Miami Dolphins remain undefeated, beating the Falcons 27-23. One was a great game, probably the best game of this weekend, this past week. The Jets hold off to beat the Bills 27-20. What was a pretty good game, kind of. The Indianapolis Colts defeated the 49ers 27-7. So congratulations to the Colts going 2-1. Like I've been saying, I'm a fan of Andrew Luck. I think he is a future quarterback. I know some would disagree, saying he's a joke. But, it's got to be something said for being 2-1 at the moment. And he did make the playoffs last year. I think, to be honest, I think all three of the rookies from last year will be great quarterbacks. But I think Luck right now is and Wilson from Seattle probably the best too. Speaking of the Seahawks, they defeated the Jaguars 45-17. Does that really surprise anybody there? Hell no. The Chicago Bears beat up the Steelers 40-23. Steelers are 0-3, not looking good for them. And then, of course, last night the Denver Broncos defeated the Raiders 37-21. Some NFL news. Well, of course, let's start with the big one. 49ers linebacker Smith has checked himself into rehab for alcohol abuse. So he will be gone for a while, but I do wish the man luck. Now, Raiders quarterback Terrell Parris suffered a concussion on a helmet-to-helmet hit by Broncos linebacker Wesley Woodland late in the game last night, so we don't know. He may play, he may not. So that could help the Skids a bit. So great. Cardinal safety loses part of his finger. Arizona Cardinal safety, Rashawn Johnson, I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly, said he lost the top of his left middle finger just above the knuckle during Sunday's loss to the New Orleans Saints. The Packers released Jeremy Rush on Monday after he lost a fumble on a kickoff during the team's loss to the Bengals. Coughlin is saying the Giants did not quit. That's pretty much it. And by the way, Atlanta Falcons running back Steve Jackson is most likely to miss 2 to 3 weeks. So if you have him, be careful. Also, Nate Burleson of the Detroit Lions breaks his arm in a crash. He broke his arm in a single car accident and will have surgery today. So he will most likely be done for the season. That could hurt Detroit. We shall see. So other than that, really not a lot of news going out injury-wise anyway, I would say. Depending who you have in fantasy, you may want to take a look if you have him. So, it is what it is on that. Now, as far as for the Raiders, I'll be talking about them later on, but I will just say it now when we get to the Skins game. I just want to say it now just so I don't have to worry about it later. And that is this. Since most likely they lost the concussion. Everybody knows it was a hard place to deal with. So if he cannot come back, which I highly doubt he could, I mean, just because of the fact of, it's a concussion, they're probably going to have the backup put in. With that being said, it's going to make things interesting in that game because while the Redskins are, yes, the worst defensive team, Raiders, quarterback-wise, they ain't that better. So just listen, just to know, you may have to, if you're picking Raiders, you'll probably be dealing with the backup most likely this week. But with that being said, we'll talk about more about that game when we get to it. Let's get to the games that we have for this week. Game number 1, Thursday night, the 49ers travel to St. Louis to take on the Rams. Both teams coming off a loss. Both teams need to win right now. The last time these two teams faced off was December 2nd. The Rams won that one 16-13. Ironically enough, they also won the November 11th game. The Rams, that was tied 24-24. So, yeah. I'm taking the Niners on this one. I think this is the game they bounce back. They've been looking bad in the last two games. I think this is the chance to come back. Rams, excluding that one they had against the Cardinals in Week 1, they've been looking bad ever since as well. So this is a do-or-die game for both teams. But I'm taking the 49ers on this one. They should be able to turn things around. Next, the Baltimore Ravens travel to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Last time these two teams faced off was back in 2010. The Ravens won that game 37-34. I'm taking the Ravens in this one. Offensively, yeah, they're not as good as what they normally are. But you know what? They still got a good defense. I still trust in Falco. I think, as we saw in that game against the Texans, I think now everything's clicking, gelling. I think that's going to help the Ravens more. Plus, you do get an easy team with the Bills. Bills are not if Bills would have got the upset, would have beat the Jets last week, I think this would be a very different game. But since they can't even beat the Jets apparently, yeah, Ravens would probably be a safe bet. Next, another safe bet game. The Cardinals take on the 0-3 Buccaneers. Now, yes, normally, some people might side with Tampa because the last time these two teams faced off was back in 2010. The Bucs won that one 38-35, but the Buccaneers just suck this year. I mean, I thought the Jets were the three-ring circus. No, apparently it's Tampa Bay, who is the NFC version of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, that whole team looks like it's in disarray from the outside. Maybe I'm wrong. I might be wrong, and if I am, I'll be the first one to tip my hat and say I'm wrong. Call me a liar. Call me I'm full of bullshit. But I'm taking Arizona on this one. I don't trust Tampa Bay in this game. Next, Pittsburgh Steelers take on the Minnesota Vikings in Wembley Stadium. That's right, they're going to jolly old London. Tea and crumpets and all that. Now, originally, this probably was looked at as a good game. Originally. But both teams are 0-3. Both teams are trying to stay alive in this situation. I got Minnesota on this one. The Steelers have not been looking great. I mean, neither one of them has. But where the Vikings, I think, have the advantage in this, they actually have a running game where Pittsburgh has no running game. That's what's going to be the key factor here. But you know what? This is one of the two games this week. That's a coin flip to me. You could probably pick either one. You're not going to feel too confident with that. I'm going with the Vikings only because of the running game. And that's the best. And that's it. Next. Lock of the week. Kansas City Chiefs are at home taking on the Giants. I'm taking the Chiefs on this one. Giants are looking terrible. Offensive and defensively, they're not really doing anything that makes you want to go, ooh. Their run game is why they can't win any games. You know, when you can't get the run game going, you can't win any. It's hard to win. Kansas City's going to win this one. Chiefs are going to go to 4-0. Speaking of the Chiefs, I think it's funny. No one is talking about them. No one's talking about them a lot. I mean, they're 3-0. They're tied with Denver. They're one of the best teams in the AFC right now, and yet no one's talking about it. I think a lot of people overlook them. If they continue this streak and they make the playoffs, I think a lot of us are going to look like idiots. Next, Colts versus Jaguars. Colts. Anyone picking the Jaguars on here is seriously mental. You are high. You are drunk. Don't do it. Just say no. Take the Colts. I'm sorry. I don't mean to hate on you Jaguars, but you suck. Seriously. I'll be surprised if you... Okay, you got what? I think it was 17 points last week. Whoopee! I still don't think you're going to do anything. Colts win this one easily. Next. Seahawks take on the Houston Texans. Should be a very good matchup. These two teams have only faced off twice. Back in 2009, the Houston Texans won that one, but in 2005... Seattle won that one 42-10. So these two teams don't get to play each other too much. I'm going to take the Seahawks on this one. I think it's going to be a great game. It's going to be, it's going to be the game I want to watch the most. It should be a great game, but I think Seattle is going to win this one. I still like the Texans to get in. I still like the Texans to get into the playoffs, but I think right now they're just going up against a better team overall in this case. So I got to take Seattle. Next. Bengals take on the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland. I'm taking the Bengals. I think the winning streak of Cleveland is going to stop. I still say Cleveland, congratulations beating the Vikings, but yeah, I don't think they're going to beat Cincinnati. They just got a better overall defense, in my humble opinion, and better quarterback. Next, Bears taking on the Detroit Lions in Detroit. I'm taking Chicago on this one. The 3-0, there's got to be something said for that. I would not be surprised if the Lions won this one. This is going to be a trap game. I feel, I'm taking Chicago. If the Lions win, I would not be surprised. I would not. So, yeah, but I got the Bears down. Oh, by the way, before I forget, the two teams with a bye this week, because you haven't heard me mention them yet. The Carolina Panthers and the Green Bay Packers, both teams needed it. Carolina got it after a big win. Green Bay needs to figure out what the fuck they're doing. Next, we got the New York Jets taking on the Titans. Last time they faced off was in 2012. The Titans won that game 14-10. You know what? First off, I'm going to say this. I was one of these guys who thought both these teams were not going to be that good. But they're surprising me. But they're both 2-1. They're doing better than a lot of other teams right now that everyone had being better. I'm going to take I can't believe I'm saying this. I want to take the Jets on this one. Yeah, they're probably they're one of the most penalized teams in the NFL right now. But you know what? They're finding ways to win games, okay? I still don't know how you can have almost 18-plus turnovers and win a game. I don't get it. But they're doing it. So I got to take the Jets on this one. You know, because I got to be honest, I didn't think they would get 2 wins this year. I had them actually getting 1. So, thanks for proving me wrong, you fucking assholes. But Jets all take for the win. I'm still not buying into this Titan situation. Alright, time for the hardest game to pick this week, in my humble opinion. Washington Redskins travel to Oakland to face the Raiders. Now, last time these two teams faced off was back in 2009. Redskins won that one 34-13. But oh dear God, are things different now. Now first off, I was like I said, Terrell Pale. Well, you know who the fuck I mean. He may be out this week due to a concussion, so most likely it'll be Matt Flynn who could be starting for them this week. If you don't know who Matt Flynn is, that's alright. He did play a little bit on the Monday night game against Denver. He was 1 for 2. Now, like I said, though, if he is not the only way he gets played is if TP cannot play against Washington. So it really depends. Of course, Matt Flynn stats, just to give you a history. He played for Green Bay from 2008 to 2011. He also played for Seattle in 2012 a little bit, but now he's in Oakland. But back to this one. Raiders do have a great running game. That's no lie. That's the reason they're doing so. They got a good running game and a pretty good defense. You know, Ground, you didn't see it last night, but in the other 2 games they've had, they almost beat the Colts. And okay, yeah, they destroyed the Jaguars, but it's the Jaguars, so that's to be expected. Whereas if you look at the Redskins, well, offensively, they're better overall, but that's only because of the passing. Their run game they're not doing good in the running, and I believe that's because the Redskins actually are one of the worst offensive teams, if not the worst. There's the problem right there with the Redskins. All the hype that was given to them after the preseason where they went 4-0, I think a lot of people were writing down the Redskins would make the playoffs and win the Super Bowl. Right now, that's not the case. Right now, it looks like they're just trying to even hope for a winning season at this point. And with me, I gotta be honest to you, I was near where they had the training camp, you know, so that shows you where I live to a degree. I'm not that far away from a drive to a Redskin game. I'm probably a few hours away. Same with the Ravens, but anyway. I look at the Skins because I've seen the 3 games. I've seen the one on week 1, week 2, and week 3. It seems to me why they're losing is a combination of 2 things. One is their defense. I don't think there's no doubt on that. Second, to a certain extent, I think RG3 gets the blame for the sole reason. He was getting so overhyped. We all saw the commercials. In week 1, he kept saying it. He's going to go all in on week 1. He's going to be ready. He's going to show everyone that the injury's not going to hold him back. He was 100%. I gotta be honest here. He may be 100% physically, but I don't think him nor the Redskins think he's 100% mentally. That's the thing. Now, when the brace comes off, we're probably going to see the same old RG3 from last year. But as long as that brace remains on, I don't think we will. So, with that being said, and this is one game I kept flipping back and forth on, Raiders, Redskins. I really wasn't sure of who to pick till about sometime this morning. I'm taking the Raiders, only because I think that it's going to be because their defense is better than Redskins by miles away, and their run game is actually working, unlike with Washington. So with that being said, again, this is a coin flip game. It's going to be one of those games that's going to be very hard to pick because both teams have problems. Next, the Denver Broncos stay at home to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm taking the Broncos on this one. It's Peyton Manning. So yeah, I'm taking Denver. And as far as for the Eagles, where was that team from week 1? Because after week 1, they've been going down quick. Next, it shouldn't surprise anybody, Cowboys taking on the Chargers. I'm picking my Cowboys. We finally found a running game. Yay. Now, I'm going to be honest here. For this pick, if you're picking, because if you don't like either teams, know this. San Diego, if you pick them, you're either getting one or two teams. You're getting the team that beat the Eagles, or you're getting the team from Week 3 and Week 1 that were choke artists. And by the way, San Diego has one of the worst defenses as well. Sunday night game. The Atlanta Falcons stay at home as they face the New England Patriots. You know what? This may be considered an upset pick, but I'm taking the Falcons to win this one. I think this is the game where they bounce back. New England's been looking a little bit shaky. Yes, they did defeat the Buccaneers, but the Buccaneers are not a great team this year. So if you look at the other two games New England's had, they barely got by the Bills and the Jets. Excuse me. So, yeah, I got to take Atlanta on this one. If Atlanta loses this one, New Orleans, the Saints are pretty much in control of that division. Last game of Week 4, Monday night game. Oh, but I think originally no one thought this game was going to be that good, but oh dear Lord, we're wrong here. It is the 3-0 Miami Dolphins taking on the 3-0 New Orleans Saints. Something interesting is going to happen here. I'm taking the New Orleans Saints. Should be a great game, but I think I cannot bet against Drew Brees. There's no way in hell I can bet against him. No way. I'm taking Drew Brees on this one. Should be an interesting game to watch. So you do got some good games this week, unlike in Week 3, where most of the games were a joke in Week 3. But you do have a lot of good ones this week. Anyway, just as a recap, I have 49ers, Ravens, Cardinals, Vikes, Chiefs, the Colts, Seahawks, Bengals, the Bears, the Jets, the Raiders, Broncos, the Cowboys, the Atlanta Falcons, and when the Saints go marching in. Alright, folks, let me know what you think of my picks. Do you agree or disagree? Let me know what you think. And until next time when I see you for NFL Week 5, baby, 5. This is the DOUG signing off saying, have a good week. Enjoy the football. Enjoy the college football, man, because it's a great week. We got football. Yeah. See you next time, folks. Woo!